Hey, Perk, this, that, never mind. Matt, ask him about them 4 letters.
Perk, your journey in ESPN, anybody you kind of leaned on or learned from, or with any kind of vets in the space for you that kind of helped you out?
I mean, you know what? The guy that's a bad motherfucker in that space. I ain't gonna say motherfucker.
No, go ahead. It's all right. Let's go.
It's all
That's
good.
your word.
But I ain't gonna lie. The one guy that I lean on, the one guy that give me a lot of insight and guidance on how it worked. To be honest with you, is Stephen A. I ain't gonna lie. Stephen A. Everybody always asking me, what's Stephen A. like?
Cool as
behind
fuck.
the scenes.
Cool as fuck. Cool as fuck.
But he said something about 2 years ago. I think it went over a lot of people's head. And at the time, I was like, nah, Stephen A., that wasn't the reply you should have gave. But as I thought about it, it was an honest and real reply. He said, I wake up every morning and I try to figure out ways to get my bosses paid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to find a way to get some of it, right? And when you think about what Stephen A. does, like, he take a lot of criticism. He's not afraid to go on there. Obviously, first take is a debate show, right? Yeah. That's what's going to drive it. And we live in a world today where drama is going to sell anyway, right? And, Stephen A. He's bringing in billions of dollars for the network. And he said, hey, I need to try to find a way to get some of it.
Mm-hmm. Talk through that. Because Stephen A. took a lot of heat when he said, I wake up every day trying to make my bosses money. I know that initially hit the black community like, boss? The hell you call him boss? What's this, Life Part 2? We're Eddie. We're Martin. Boss? What you talking about, dog? So it hit a lot of different ways. Oh, you sound like a sellout. I remember reading all the comments. And it didn't go over my head. I think it landed in a space where there was a lot of conversation about it because what are you really saying? So let's peel back that layer before we go into more. What are you really saying? Because if you're trying to figure out ways to make them money, how many different ways will you travel to do that? Okay? Did you notice how they all said Stephen A. is cool in real life? Knowing that his persona, knowing that his character, knowing that the entertainer, the one that's public facing, is a lot of different versions of a very cool dude. I vouch for that as well. I have no beef with Stephen A. Smith. A lot of people try to say that when I do these videos, but I do these videos to point out things that people do, not to point out the person, because there's nobody on this planet that I'm hating. I'm really not. Ryan Clark close. But the point is, Stephen A. Smith wakes up and says, which one of these suits I'm putting on? And I don't mean suits like a clown suit. I'm talking about, do I got to button up? Do I got to let the collar out? Do I put the herringbone on? You've seen all the different versions of Stephen A. Smith. And I think we all recognize that because we all are familiar and guilty of doing that. How many hats do you wear in a day? How many hats do you wear at work, just period? Come on, don't act like that. Even if you are the boss, there are people on your staff that you come at differently than others. Why you putting on that hat? Why are you giving them all the support, flattery, always just pumping them up? Because you know that's a button you got to push with them to get the most out of them. And then why are you such a hard ass on that one? Because that's the button I got to push to get the most out of them. I see that in coaching all the time, whether it's itty bitties or grown men. I've been on the receiving end of like, coach, you coming at me way different than him over there. So I didn't like when people came at Stephen A. Smith for that. So I understand what Kendrick is saying. But isn't it crazy, as I tell you guys all the time about Skip Bayless, and they're telling you right now about Stephen A. Smith, of how, look, what y'all see ain't what we get. It's a whole different man in terms of who Stephen A. Smith is on air and off air. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because there is someone who they say, he's the same OG on air and off air. I wonder who that is. Do y'all guessing? Let's hear it.
Definitely shout out Pat for, I mean, obviously all of us being in the media space, but him, he really, like you said earlier, he really does it his way.
I mean, think about it.
Pat
He is, I think, just, when you talk about the most powerful people at ESPN, it's him and Stephen A. Smith.
He's one of them, for
right?
sure.
This, like, Pat McAfee called out a real
Boss.
top dog, and that top dog
He's
is
not
no
here no
longer
more.
there.
He's
He's no longer there.
That boss ain't there no
You know
more
what I
either.
mean? He's no longer there, man. And the thing I love it is because he ain't gonna hide it. The same shit he say in private, he gonna say it in public.
Yeah.
How he feels. So I think it's just, he sets a bar to up your game. He also sets a bar of accountability. And so I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true that the Celtics banned you from ring night?
Now, before we get into that, because this is the best part, he talking about Mac. Let's talk about Mac. See the difference there? Who he is in real life, all of us vouching, is who he is on camera. Same OG. Now, for me, I prefer that guy, but I also don't discount the guy like Stephen A. Smith or like Skip Bayless. Because if you guys know any of these top comedians out there, and I'm blessed to know a few of them, a lot of them are introverts. They get on that stage and voila. And then when them lights ain't bright, they like, hey, what's up, man? Overstimulated, just knows how to turn it on. Like I told you, the first time I ever met Stephen A. Smith, I was doing the best damn sports show. Y'all remember that? John Sally and them boys? Yes. Chris Rose and all of them, right? It was wild. And I remember meeting Stephen A. Smith. He was quiet. Not until we got on air. Wow. Pat McAfee, all accounts, same OG. Y'all got a preference? You think that changes how they get down? The word is authenticity. And how can you be authentic if you are waking up every day with a different version because you're just trying to figure out how to make your boss's money and to get some of it. So you're going to pull something different from the closet every day. Where Pat's like, man, move. Get them clothes out of here. I'm going bucket naked. Titties! Ass! Jiggling.
Ban me?
Yeah.
How the fuck they gonna ban me? Look, let me say this.
Please get
I
this
seen the article. I heard,
straight.
I
Don't get
heard they
straight.
wasn't
Don't
trying to
get
let you
straight.
in. I heard they didn't like your takes. I heard the players weren't, any of this true. I heard the players weren't fucking. I want to know what's true.
And to be quite honest, I don't give a fuck, right? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because here's the thing. I'm
Goddamn right,
like
dude.
that.
Good journalism, first of all, Stack and Matt, homies. Because they playing a little naive. Like, they got intel. See, this is why this is a good interview. Because they allowing him the floor to do it. Y'all be trying to clown Shannon when he does the same thing. It's like, dog, I know, or I could clap back, or I could fact check, but let you go there. Because that's going to be more fodder for them to come back and go there too. Let's go.
They have a lot. Make no mistake about it. I never take winning the championship for granted.
Right.
But they act like you have to be tied to that situation or that's your life, right?
Right.
Like, oh, it was an honor to play for one of the most historical franchises. I never take that for granted.
Right.
But I think what ended up happening was, I said a take about Joe Mazzulla.
Okay, now he about to go into the depths. He about to take you into the weeds. But basically, he was talking about three-point shooting and they didn't believe in it and all that stuff and how they turned the corner and all that worked. Watch the whole damn interview if you want to get all that. I'm trying to get the nuggets of behind the layers of what Kendrick Perkins is, ESPN, etc. The wildest part about all of this is how I think, just from my experience and just listen to these guys, how manufactured media is. And I don't know if it was always like this, growing up watching Tom Brokaw, you know what I mean? Walter Cronkite. But I just didn't think that they were characters. I didn't think they were anything but who they were. Some old-ass men just talking like, just loving information. I was like, oh, God, is that what smart is? Is that what's happening in this world? Etc. The whole personality that's introduced into sports, I actually think all in is certainly added value to what sports are. But I have a problem with it too, because now for you to give me information, it's going through the process of who you are, which is now turning that into misinformation. Why? Likability. You like somebody, you're going to talk nicer about them than somebody else. Wait a minute. Shouldn't that be my call to make the judgment on whether that person gets favor or not? Because we all love sports for nothing else but the storylines. Please miss me with the wins and losses. We will forget wins and losses. We won't forget, ooh, what did they have to overcome? Ooh, who did they do that and who did they beat down? Ooh, wow, David, Goliath, wow, underdog, overdog, like, right, the same favorite. Wins and losses? Other than the championship, man, I don't even know. Dog, yeah, did we beat Indy that year in week 3? Like, shut up. No. But did they have Peyton Manning, who was the man? You know what I mean? And that's what I'm thinking. That the storylines of all of this stuff is amazing. But the information has turned into misinformation because of the calculation that comes from someone. Not a computer, not a calculator, from someone. Their character. So, Kendrick Perkins is saying, look, I'm become a greater, look, Kendrick Perkins is a name now, right? I become a greater version of me in part because I learned how to process this information. When I'm on ABC, I'm talking this way. When I'm on ESPN, I'm talking this way. I learned that from Stephen A. Smith, top dog. But I also caught this other dog over there, this wolf, leading a wolf pack, who like, y'all domesticated. I'm raw, straight up, and going to get it. Do you got a preference? Do you got a way? I already told you mine. Beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Because I thought it was very interesting how they basically all broke down 2 guys who got to the same place different ways. Life lesson out of that is simple. Stop being so rigid in how you approach things. Stop being on code. Stop being one way. Stop thinking the only way is the way you see it. Stop. Pat McAfee, he didn't see his model. He became a pioneer. Stop thinking that the only way to do something is that way. It can go any way. Believe in you, though, to go that way. So that was it, man. Beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Kendrick Perkins broke it down to let everybody know how it's going down at the 4 letters. Pretty dope, right? That's what I think. All right, make sure you log on to projecttransition.org. Ooh. Help us educate and empower these itty bitties. They everywhere. Look at them. They're trying to learn the game of football right now. Now they're trying to learn life lessons. Yeah, we getting it all done. Yep. Log on to projecttransition.org. Help us educate and empower these itty bitties. And if you do that, you know us on this show, we always going to give you some love and recognition and our gym membership. Don't forget, like Vincent Gonzalez made a one-time $1,000 donation supporting Project Transition. Become a gym member. Gym members, givers every month. Grassroots enhancement. Become a part of that. Make sure you support these itty bitties. I love it when you guys go, wow. What's up, y'all? It's Marcellus Wiley, founder of Project Transition and proud gym member. I'm excited to share with you an opportunity that will support our kids on their mission to making their dreams a reality. At Project Transition, we believe that real change comes from consistent action and support. That's why we invite you to join our powerful gym membership program that is making a difference every single day. As a gym partner, by giving every month, you'll fuel our mission by providing monthly support that turns into real empowerment and education for underserved youth. Your commitment reduces school dropouts, nurtures communities, and funds impactful programs like the Rising Stars Academy that we share. Together, we can turn potential into prosperity. Join the group of community champions driving change. Your contributions will help aid success by providing essential educational resources, building critical life skills, and fostering community strength. There's no better feeling than knowing your support will ignite hope, foster dreams, and empower the next generation. Join us today and be a part of transformative change. Help our youth become greater than their greatest excuse. Become a gym partner. Thank you.